ho, ho. Or should I say, ah, ooh, blah. It's Cinema Swirl, episode number 19. Or should I say, Spooky Swirl. Ooh. I'm Kevin Spookerton, joined as I am always in this traipse through the graveyard of Hollywood, where all them films are buried and given Christian names. Sam Chaplin.
Hello.
Have you got a scary name, Sam?
The ghost of Sam Chaplin as well.
The ghost of Sam Chaplin. Yeah. The ghost of films unseen,
yes.
mate. Now, a lot of people are probably going to go, oi, Spooky Swirl, this isn't Halloween. This is more closer to, well, a month after Halloween. I'm going to say off the bat, I was, from the get-go, before this podcast even had a name, I was up for the tradition of a yearly Halloween special that occurs nearly a month after Halloween, because the first one did as well, just so you know.
Yeah.
So I was up for keeping tradition, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a lot of people, though, always going on and on and on about, oh, Christmas, coming very early this year, isn't it? Ooh, that Christmas. Earlier and earlier it's coming. Oh, it's so early Christmas, it's happening before next year's Christmas has even gotten under. But you know what, how we're going to counteract that is just by shoving Halloween further and further back.
That's what we're getting started.
Pumpkins on Christmas dinner tables, that's what I'm all about. Did you have a pleasant Halloween period?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's great because, I mean, for some people, we're in this, like, I don't know, age bracket, I guess, of mid to late 20s where you kind of you ease back.
Mid.
I always said mid, which meant you, and to late,
to
which
late.
meant me. Okay? You don't get both words. Stop being greedy. But a lot of people go through that phase of kind of going, oh, now we're older, so therefore, you know, less wackiness of Halloween, less into Halloween. But you, though, I'm always wondering if this Halloween is going to be the Halloween where, for the first time, you go dress up.
Where I finally get into it.
It's going, like, wait a minute, Halloween, and you know, you really get the concept. Or
well. No.
That didn't happen this year. No. Did you stay in your gated community throwing sweets at children just out of reach so they couldn't catch them?
Yeah, I did. Didn't get any trick-or-treaters at all. No, none.
At all?
No.
I didn't either, actually, now that I think about it. Which is kind of...
It's political correctness gone mad.
No, it's the children's fault, Sam. That's what it is. It can't be us. Yeah. I mean, I just use it as an excuse to eat an inordinate amount of candy.
Did you have sweets?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, right? As a man who's very little in the sense of guardedness anymore, I always have a lot of sweets.
Okay, right, yeah, fair enough.
You know, it's always on the shopping list. Yeah. Milk, eggs, bread.
Sweet.
Sweet thing. So it doesn't have to be sweet.
Just something sweet.
It has to be a thing that is sweet. So, I mean, if the kids showed up, they might have gotten some macaroons. You know? But I don't know if that was their bag, really, or not.
I'm more likely to have baked sweet things than sweets, you know? Or like a chocolate mini roll or something.
Oh, I think you mean like baked sweets. I mean like boiled sweets.
No.
Hard candies, like giving children's humbugs and big glacier mints and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm disappointed because I feel like I am a young, rambunctious Halloween kid trapped in the body of a fun uncle. Because, I mean, I've got a big beard and I'm big and I'm from another country. So if a kid knocked on the door and I was like, oh, they would have a great fucking laugh, surely.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully. That or
There's
maybe,
two ways that could go.
There's two ways that could go. The other way would end up me not having any more trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that's it. So episode du jour, it was a spooky vote. I must say, a much spookier vote than last year's spooky vote.
Yes. Well, the last year's spooky vote did have spooky films in it.
But you all voted for the unspooky movie.
Just went for Alien. Yeah.
Well, no, Alien is scary, but it's not
scary. It's not spooky.
What's the difference?
Let's find out.
There is. That's a great. Now, if we had like a Radio 4 program, that would be a great. Now, Starford. Let's find out. Coming up next on BBC Radio 4, Cinema Swirl. Sam Chaplin.
What if the name of the show was Let's Find Out and we all had to work that into... What's the difference? Let's find out.
Spend like 20 minutes looking at globes and various bell jars with glasses in them. So, the movie du jour is a rather spooky one. Mm-hmm. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
A nightmare.
Okay,
right.
So, you know, a nightmare. So, a nightmare is like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's scary. Elm Street, don't know.
Yeah.
But still.
Is that significant?
Don't like. Oh, it's scary. Suburbia as well, you know. A bit of a tightly contested one. This came very, very close to The Exorcist, which is I think the running joke now is The Exorcist has nearly won an episode multiple times.
Never will.
And it never will. Someday we'll watch it and realise how not scary that movie is. But until that day, we've got Nightmare on Elm Street to contend with. But before we get into that, let's have a little bit of an old dip our wicks, shall we say, into the mailbag. So Ashley Clements writes in, "Hi Kevin and Sam, enjoying the podcast, just wanting to know, will you be a Christmas film vote when we get to December and see if Sam has seen any of the classics such as Miracle on 34th Street, Elf, Home Alone 2, or Jingle All the Way?" That's a really good... I mean, we actually have something planned, top secret, tapping our noses, which you can't see on the podcast. But there is a Christmas plan that is already in place. Stay tuned for that one. James Alvarez writes regarding the fandom name of Cinema Swirl.
Yes, okay.
Which I must say, I was very happy with what we settled on in the end, which is the Cinema Swirl fan base.
Yeah, we had a lot of suggestions coming in on Facebook and Twitter.
Huge amounts.
We just ignored them.
Yeah. No bother.
We went with our one, which was funny.
We know our ones is funnier, and as well,
there were some really good ones though. Thank you for sending those in.
Yeah, see the genuineness there.
No, it was.
We read them all. We hang them all in the fridge.
It was great social content. Yeah?
It was great. It made a lot of impressions, Sam. You know, the folks over at Hootsuite will be absolutely delighted with how things are going. But yes, we did actually have a limited run of those Cinema Swirl fan base T-shirts.
Yeah, a tossed off joke that we made on a podcast became a real thing because
tangible.
Someone mocked up what those T-shirts we said could exist would look like.
With the underlining and the plain font.
Exactly how it would look. And that went on Twitter, and people responded well to that. And I thought, should we just do it?
Yeah.
And then we did it, and then at least 25 people bought them.
Which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Our minds were blown when 2 people bought them.
Yes.
That's a nice in-joke.
They're real... They're real things that now exist in real people's houses and on their bodies.
And if you have gotten yours,
we've had a few photos in, and that's amazing and lovely.
Do send them into at Cinema Swirl or facebook.com/Cinema Swirl. But James Alvarez does write still with a suggestion for fan names. Dear Kevin and Sam, after hearing your request for name suggestions for us fans of the podcast and listening to subsequent Back to the Future 2 episode, I think a great name for us would be The Almanacs. If you'll indulge me, it's like Sam is going back and reading a cinema almanac, if you will, catching up on all the pop culture he should know, and us being the ones who already know all these films and wait to see what Sam discovers next. Obviously, Kevin is a big fan of the word, so let's own it. Anyways, have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
I just like the word almanac.
I like the word almanac.
It's great.
And that's fun. He's shown his working there as well.
He's going to get full marks in the mocks for that one, seriously. He showed the working. Yeah. I like that. Because he didn't just say, oh, you should be called...
the Almanacs.
The Almanacs. Goodbye. No, that was great. And that's why I like the long-form communication here on cinemaswirl at gmail.com.
That's cinemaswirl at gmail.com.
And an incredible thing, what I love most about cinemaswirl at gmail.com...
That's cinemaswirl at gmail.com.
...is the recurring thing now of people seemingly trying to top each other for the weird movie theatre food.
Yes.
And
long may this trend continue.
Long may this trend continue. Although after this edition of weird movie foods, I'm not sure how it could possibly continue.
Okay.
Hi guys, hearing the story about the cold shepherd's pie always makes us laugh. Reminded me of my own horrible theatre experiences with weird food. When I was 10, my dad forced me to see AI, Artificial Intelligence, from Steven Spielberg, in theatres, saying repeatedly, "It's an important film." It's so not. It's so not. I've been feeling really ill the whole day, and I knew that it would only get worse as we were getting our seats, and I saw a woman in front of us eating a full smoked fish that was wrapped in tinfoil. The smell filled the whole theatre. I've been feeling even worse as the movie went on, and something about watching the movie and that little robot boy shoveling spoonfuls of spinach into his mouth and the overpowering smell of that fish made me start to vomit all over the theatre. My dad grabbed me and started yelling, "He doesn't normally do this! He doesn't normally do this!" As we were driving home, he told me, "I can't believe you did that. That was an important film." I've still never seen the end of it, and I can't smell smoked fish without being sick. Now that there is the mother of all cinema food stories. It encompasses so many things that are important in the world of Cinema Swirl. Parental disappointment, smoked fish, and food in cinema, and also underwhelming Steven Spielberg movies.
Oh,
Wow.
good lord.
That can't be
just
topped.
the dad wanting to see that important
That
film.
important movie. That really, really important movie.
Oh,
AI.
wow.
But he feels like a wazzock now, huh? So, back to the movie du jour.
I can't believe you did that.
Can't believe he doesn't normally do this. And I'll be honest, as a very anxious child, I got sick in movies theaters all the time. At least my parents were always cool about it. Because I remember distinctly getting sick during Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and also Matilda, getting sick on both occasions in the theater.
With Matilda, was it the eating loads of cake scene?
No, I just felt really rotten, and I got sick into my, because I had a big
popcorn
jumbo. It was a big jumbo soda.
drink, yeah.
And I got sick into it, which actually caused the level of liquid to rise and kind of flow out. So I made
Jesus.
kind of a real gruesome image there. And my mother, I mean, maybe it's because we didn't see any important movies.
Yeah, Matilda wasn't important enough.
You know, I mean, I don't know what it says about my mother, but I mean, does that mean she's a good mother or not? But it definitely means that she doesn't think that Harry Potter or Matilda are important movies.
Did she stand up and say he doesn't normally do that?
No, because I mean that would have been a lie. Because I did normally do it. So I mean, I guess you just kind of like, well, par for the course.
He normally does this.
He normally does this. You know. You ever been sick in a cinema?
No.
Oh, missing out, man.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Still
hope.
time.
Hey, you're not 30 yet.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not 30 yet. So, our movie du jour, it's a big one, and an alarmingly popular movie and popular film franchise and, pop culture and all that. Surely you've heard of Nightmare on Elm Street.
I have
before.
heard of it, yes.
What do you know of the Nightmare on Elm Street?
It's A Nightmare
Yeah.
on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I've never been sure of the title.
Nightmares on Elm
It could be
Street.
The Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street.
People call it Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's what I hear it referred to as. And I'm like,
What if you're really...
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
If you're real hardcore, you just call it Elm Street.
Yeah.
Do you up for watching Elm Street later? Yeah. Elm Street 2? ES3?
I think there's a lot of them.
There are.
I know that about it. It's one of the... Well, obviously it's one of the iconic horror movies.
Is it an iconic horror movie or has it an iconic horror character?
Right, now...
Because I'm really interested to see what you know about this.
Okay, now I want it to be embarrassing that I don't know what the character is, but I think this one is the Freddy Krueger one.
It is, yes.
Okay,
Very good.
Right, not
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
And I know that Freddy and Jason have faced off in some kind of film.
So Freddy and Jason sound like people who are going to open on Russell Howard's Good News. Like, here's Freddy and Jason.
What's the deal with dreams?
So I'm down at the lake, right? And anyway.
So it's Freddy Krueger. Mm-hmm. He's the baddie. Mm-hmm. He's scary.
Scary how? I mean, can you describe Freddy Krueger?
He's got like a... Has he got like a Kurt Cobain jumper? Like he's kind of grungy looking.
He does. He is a bit grungy.
Yeah.
He's got a Kurt Cobain jumper, but so far you're not really describing a scary fellow.
He looks like he's doing his gardening with little finger shear things.
Little finger shear things.
Little finger shears.
Okay.
He's got like big claws.
He has claws.
Yeah. He's got a hat. So
you're just describing a man gardening right now. So who's this iconic horror film monster? He's got jumper, hat, gardening,
like charity shop jumper because he doesn't mind getting it messy.
Yeah.
Hat, you know, it might be sunny out there.
Any work trousers, just any old work trousers.
Yeah, and I think he's got like a dodgy face. There's
a dodgy face.
Something up with his face.
What is
Has he got weird skin?
He does. He's got eczema. He's got awful skin.
Right.
And what does he do?
Okay, well, you asked me before this if I'd seen the Simpsons episode that parodies it.
Yes, which you have.
Which I have.
Because had you seen The Shining before we watched The Shining?
Yeah.
Was that helpful in letting you know stuff about the movie?
Not really.
Yeah.
So my understanding of Freddy Krueger, if I'm basing it on what Willie does in that episode of The Simpsons, it's a Halloween Treehouse of Horror.
Treehouse of Horror one, yeah.
Lousy, smart weather.
The 13th month of the 13th hour.
He attacks kids in their sleep because he can go through dreams.
Yeah. Is it kind of is he a paedophile or like?
No.
No.
Right, don't let that hat fool you. No, He's just a murderer.
He's a murderer.
He's a dream murderer.
A dream murderer.
He's my dream murderer.
He's my dream murderer. If you reach a certain age and you have to put away the dream phone, then you take a dream murderer instead. It's pretty hardcore, you know?
Okay, so he's a guy...
You're right, by the way, on all counts.
Okay, so he's a creepy looking dude. He can... I don't know if he's real. I don't know if he exists IRL. Or if he just exists in dreams.
Aha.
And if he gets you in the dream, you're dead in real.
Okay, you know what? That Simpsons episode has given you plenty of fuel here.
So, an Elm Street, I'm guessing that's the setting.
You're very, very well done. Very well done.
I could have guessed that from the title, really.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's some people on Elm Street who get nightmares.
Here's the thing, what? Because I mean, Freddy is like an incredibly iconic character.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you had any indication or if you knew why that was. Why is it that he's so?
Because he kills you in your sleep.
I mean,
he claws at you.
This ghoul found his way into America's heart by killing children on screen. I mean, is there anything? I mean,
they were children in The Simpsons.
We don't usually embrace the child killers. So what is it about Freddy, do you think, that makes him so kind of popular?
The jumper?
Do you like that jumper?
Oh, it was, yeah.
It's a good one.
I like the kind of grungy big jumper.
Yeah.
It's comfy.
Grungy big jumper, Seattle kill children kind of jumper. You know?
He's got like claws on one hand and like a Starbucks in the other. But why would he be iconic?
Yeah.
He's in a horror film, murders people, scary.
Boo! So you think he's scary?
Well, yeah.
You mean, is he... When you see, I was sending you lots of silly pictures of Freddy.
Yeah.
Of him in tuxedos, mostly him smiling.
He had a dicky bow on.
To see if I could make him less scary for you. But is he like a scary image? Or?
Well, I see lots of costumes of Freddy.
Yeah.
You can get the glove.
Steak knife glove.
Yeah. Or your mum at home could just glue some cutlery onto some old gloves. Just some really blunt kitchen knives.
Use all like
on your mum's fingerless gloves.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah, you get costumes of it. So it's a fixture at Halloween things now. It's a Simpsons episode. There's probably other stuff that has made fun of it. Other than just being a scary dude in a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something else that makes him more notorious.
I would say there probably is, but I mean, I guess that will have to come with the movie. I was just wondering if that was apparent to someone who hadn't seen the movies before. I mean, are you expecting to be scared in this one? I mean, have you heard? I mean, if people told you, "Oh shit, dude, this one's fucking scary," or "This is violent," or because it is 18s, and this was always for me as a kid. That was one of the ones that
don't watch that.
You know that's on the 18s shelf in the video store in the village. You know, can't watch that until you're 15. You know,
I've not heard terrible things about it. I don't know. I heard a lot about The Exorcist. That's like proper scary, mate.
But people weren't saying that this is like.
I've not heard people saying like it's properly.
People were very passionately coming to this movie's defense when it was put up for the vote. Like people said that you had to see it,
right?
And whatnot. So you have been disturbed by movies we have watched.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether this is like a. I think we've mentioned before. There's two types of scary, mostly.
Oh, don't do the fucking thing now.
I won't do the thing.
And you give me a fucking heart attack.
I won't do the thing. But there is like disturbing scary, and there's blur scary, which is like big period of silence, and then blur, and it jumps out at you, and you go, oh, I feel all shook up by that. So I don't know.
I don't feel well now. Guess this was fun, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know why people enjoy that.
Because you certainly don't.
No. I get the disturbing thing, because that's kind of...
makes you think, I guess.
Yeah, it feels a bit deeper.
Because in The Shining, it does kind of make you kind of go, oh shit, what's going on? What
I still sometimes think about The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I don't think about some jump scare horror film I might have seen.
Yeah. Which of these two categories do you think it's going to fall into? Jump scares or like disturbing?
Well, he looks all weird.
Yeah.
And horrible. So
he looks horrible.
He looks like a horrible rotter. So I think that'll be disturbing, but I imagine there's going to be some kind of... Is it teenagers?
Yeah.
Is he getting teenagers?
Oh, yeah, and there's actually a teenager in this. A very young, famous actor as a teen in this.
Okay.
Do you know who it is?
No.
Oh my god, you're going to have your mind fucking blown.
Okay,
let's just say.
Cool.
Yeah, you get to see one of your favourite actors. But basically...
Bill Murray!
If I grabbed a randomer off the street and said, one of your favourite actors...
Right, okay.
As a boy, you get to see a boy Boy actor.
Boy actor.
Boy actor.
Okay, is this like their first film?
First kind of big mainstream movie,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool.
Have you heard of Wes Craven, finally, the director?
Yeah.
Do you know what he's known for? Or
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. It's a very spooky name, Wes Craven, isn't it?
Has he done? He does horror films. Just
yeah.
Is that like
that's
pretty much
That's
exclusively?
his shtick, you know. He did the famous kind of Dracula remake.
And does he have like? Is it all called Wes Craven's?
Yeah.
This. How many Nightmare on Elm Streets have there been?
Oh shit! Now let me think.
Is it?
As far as the regular Nightmare on Elm Streets, there was like 5 or 6.
Right.
And then there was like a crossover movie with Friday the 13th. And then there was the reboot. As far as I know, there's a sequel to the reboot as well.
Jesus.
So there's like, and then there was like another one, a really weird metal one, which was made in the 90s as well, which was kind of like another reboot, which kind of, it was weird. It like made out like the filming of the movie was real, and that it was this weird ass thing. Another time maybe, but there's been a lot of Elm Street movies.
Are they all Wes Craven?
Not all.
Or has he passed that on to someone else?
As far as I know, it's kind of thing that he kind of maintains the license or whatever, but other people dipped their toes in to make the list.
But other than that, he has done horror films. I don't know much about Wes Craven.
Spooky name. As a kid, I used to think I used to get him and R.L. Stein mixed up.
Ah, okay.
Two obviously fake
Well, they
spooky
both got
names.
that kind of, they stamped their name on scary stuff. Is Wes Craven still alive?
He actually died very, very recently.
I think that might
be the
be
end of August.
why I remember the name.
Yeah, well, probably went around quite a bit recently. So.
Lots of people being upset.
Are you excited for this one then?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I'm into, because I don't want to like tell you too much without spoiling it, I guess.
I'm just hoping there's more to it than there is a scary guy and he kills people in their dreams. That's probably the plot, isn't it?
I mean, I that is the plot.
Okay.
That is the synopsis. But I mean, it's like all these things. It's not whether or not you kill children in their dreams.
Yeah.
It's how you kill the children in their dreams.
Exactly.
So bearing that in mind...
he must have done it in a way that has ingrained him in popular culture. So I'm excited to see...
Like it's a real pop culture fucking way of killing a child.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know.
Because the way I've laid it out, you know, there still needs a little cherry on top of that.
It's just weird for us because here, usually, we don't venerate paedophiles or child killers.
No, we're not. you keep bringing paedophiles into this.
Well, if you're getting into a child's dream, I mean, you're kind of...
It's creepy. Yes.
I didn't do anything untoward in your child's dreams. Of course you fucking did.
I mean, legally, I don't know where you stand on that, because, you know... So he enters... But are they children?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's
teenagers.
Teens.
Okay, yeah. Still creepy.
Still creepy.
Yeah. Well, I want to find out what the deal is.
And there's that lovely moment when you realise that you and Sam are in for a bit of an awkward 90 minutes as you watch children being killed.
I feel like I'm missing something. The extra thing that I'm missing.
There's a little bit here, yeah, a little.
Is
dimension.
Important.
Oh, we'll find out. So let's go do a cinema swirl. Have it, The Nightmare Before Christmas Street. A spooky movie indeed, fitting for a spooky swirl. Gut reaction to that one, Sam. This was a fucking roller coaster of emotions.
I can understand why that's hailed as a classic comedy, because it is hilarious.
You did laugh an awful lot.
Oh, it was fun.
It was fun.
Funny. Yeah.
At the film's expense?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I'm pretty sure 100% at the film's expense.
I will tell you right now, as someone who had shoot nightmares about this movie when he first saw it, that it has not aged well.
Okay.
It has not.
Right.
I'm not going to have nightmares tonight.
No?
Pretty unlikely.
Sure?
I mean, I'm pretty unlikely. I'm not going to jinx it now or anything, but...
1-2, mate.
1-2. Freddie...
Testing the mic.
Test the mic. That's how Freddie has those little kids test the mic from all the time. Yeah. This movie made you laugh many times.
Yeah.
At the start, particularly because of the name of the production company that brought us this movie.
Smart Egg.
Smart Egg. No one's ever called a smart egg, are you? You're a good egg.
Yeah. Or a bad egg.
A rotten egg.
Yeah.
A smelly egg, you know.
Smart egg.
A dodgy egg.
He's a smart egg.
He's a right smart egg, that one. You know, not really something that's used. So we start off in the midst of a man who is short of breath, making some sort of claw in a workshop.
So he's like a asthmatic blacksmith is what I was trying to draw conclusions early on.
The main question you have in this one, and this is kind of ambiguous as to whether or not Freddy Krueger is a child molester or if he's just a child killer.
Yeah.
You don't breathe like that when making something and not be of that persuasion, as far as I know. Because that kind of... I mean, come on now. There's no need for that kind of breathing unless you're diddling something. You know? I mean, that's the bad breathing right there. So he bravely makes claws in a darkened workshop and breathes in a way that is both provocative and filthy.
Yeah.
And then, out of nowhere...
The title farts onto the screen.
Oh god, it's a bus from the future that just run you over. Oh my god. It really got me off guard.
That was my clue that this film was going to be silly. Just that the title going.
This movie decided that the best means and methods of getting its point across that it is a chilly movie is through the medium of chilly synth and abrupt synth as well.
Yeah.
No more so than at the start we're just like, fucking hell. Like, I mean, that was the biggest jump in the movie, I think, for me. Oh my god. I knew the name of the movie as well, and I knew it was coming, and it's still scary. Introducing
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. So, what did you make to young Master Depp appearing in this?
Mixed results, I'd say. He's got better as an actor. I think.
Has.
Yeah.
And would you describe him as being a very good actor, or are you a fan of? We haven't done any Johnny Depp movies yet.
I'm not a fan. I think he's all right.
You like him in? He was in that Tim Burton movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, that one.
The one where he's the sad white guy and it snows a lot.
Yeah,
that movie.
He's in that one.
All movies. So yes, Johnny Depp alongside an all-star cast of mumbly teenagers, or mumbly young adults playing quite well, mumbly teenagers. The acting in this movie,
it's like a
fucking hell.
A video they play at school to tell you about stuff that you're not supposed to do. Yeah,
and remember, children, don't ever sleep. You know,
the way they talk to each other and also the way it's acted is kind of just like...
The one thing it was missing was like every few minutes for like the pause logo to appear at the top left, so the teacher knows to pause
explain
it.
To you,
You go, right, now write a letter to Nancy's mother explaining why you shouldn't go to sleep, knowing what you know now.
Or for them all to turn to camera and go, freeze frame. Now, what do you think about this issue?
A lot of crazy things are happening in this scene, guys. What I did like as well is that it's Freddy Krueger. That's the...
Yeah.
And I, as a joke, used to call him Fred Krueger, because I think if you call him Fred Krueger, it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred Krueger from marketing is coming around.
They all call him that.
He's a bit of a character. Yeah. Look at his funny jumper, but he brings Tim Tam sometimes, so he's okay. But they do actually said, and Robert Englund as Fred Krueger. So I obviously thought I made that joke up myself, but
no, it's in the film.
They call him that, and then he calls himself Freddy, and then some of them call him Freddy, some call him Fred.
He's like a sort of desperate man trying to get a nickname to catch on.
He just doesn't want to be Frederick, no matter what.
I'm lighthearted. I'm Freddy.
Fredo Krueger.
Okay, Fred.
No, I'm Freddy. I'm fun.
All right, Fred.
It's okay, you know. So Freddy chases a teenager throughout a boiler room.
Yeah, which looked like the end of both Commando and Terminator 2.
Lot of steam.
Yeah, hot, steamy metal room.
And I'll be honest, Freddy Krueger, being a burn victim, who also wears a jumper, it's not the best environment for him to be.
He's going to get hot.
Itchy as fuck. All flaky and, God, not nice at all. But something I recalled about this, because Freddy is so iconic that in subsequent Nightmare on Elm Street movies, it's almost as if they're fucking jumping to show you him. Because he's so iconic, and it's about Freddy then. That's what kind of the movies really start just being all about him.
Yeah.
And I liked in this movie, one of its strengths was the fact that they didn't show you Freddy straight away. You kind of
slow reveal.
You get to see corners, shadows. You look out, you see him a little bit, and go, oh, is that Freddy? But it goes, it with its sound effects, and then you don't know what you've seen.
Yeah.
You could have been seeing anything.
You know what you've heard.
You've heard the noise, but more on the synth soundtrack later on. So Freddy chases this teenager through the boiler room and they're all screaming like, get away. And they wake up. It was all a dream. So how many star wipes did you give? That's the end of that movie. Serious fucking bad acting by the teenagers. You've got 3 kids. And honestly, it was difficult to recall names of these children, even though I've seen this movie several times before, because they were all so wooden.
Well, Johnny Depp's character I can remember because I just call him Johnny.
Johnny Depp.
This hard-on boy.
I just called him Erection. He's this lad shows up at the start and they're like I had a scary dream last night. Like, I got a fucking erection last night. It had your name written on it. What?
That's a great introduction for a character though, isn't it?
It's like, do not take this character seriously. Hope him.
I got a boner.
Oh! Wait, we all get them. We don't have to announce it every time, you know? I'm just saying it's a bit inappropriate, mate, you know?
Well, we heard the 1-2 Freddy's coming for you after she wakes up from the dreams. That's the first instance we hear that. We hear a little bit of that echoing.
Yeah, 1-2 Freddy's coming for you. 3-4 he's knocking at the door.
Yeah.
5-6 Freddy sucks dicks.
Yeah.
7-8 you are not my mate. Yeah. It's just I think a new Pepsi Max ad campaign could just be Freddy Krueger with a big X there going, no, it's for mates, not Freddy Krueger.
That's how ultimately you get him. You just go, Freddy, you're not my mate, and that ruins all his power.
So Johnny Depp is wearing his Young Republicans outfit with his fucking tan slacks and his polo shirt, like, you know. I had a dream I was in the country club at the weekend. You know? He'll be all right in his dreams. He's fine. So the girls discover after some stilted and wooden conversation that they all share the same dreamsman.
Yeah. They've all gone round to Johnny's mum's house or something.
Yeah.
To not be scared.
Yeah, just hang out. Like, you know, hang out. Solidarity amongst children who are very bad at expressing their emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
I understand it.
So there's 3 of them in this house hanging out at the start.
Being all chill.
Yeah.
I like the girls is that they're kind of like, it takes one of them quite some time to realise that they were dreaming about the same person. Because one of them's like going, they had these weird fingernails. Like, that's so crazy. Yeah. On another matter, I had a dream and this person had knives for hands. Isn't that weird? I wonder if that's related, you know. Awful!
No, mine were fingernails. Yours are finger knives. Yeah.
There's a difference. Captain Erection shows up to join the group.
Yeah, there's some scary scratchy noises.
I think, what's going on?
But it's just him being a plonker.
It's just him having a wank, probably, like.
Him being a wanker.
His big erection, like, you know. I got another one, you know. Yeah. I thought it'd be romantic if it came around and beat off in your garden, you know.
My favourite Johnny line is him coming out and saying, I'll punch... I'll punch out your ugly lights, whoever it is. And then starts like making noises like it's a cat. Like, so he's covering all bases. Like, I'll punch your ugly lights out. Hey, kitty.
The cat's not going to come out after you. Like, I'll just tell you right now, if you threaten to punch a cat's lights out, ain't coming near you, man.
Yeah.
All right, you can hear kitty. You want all you want till the cows come home. That cat is staying well and truly away.
But it's hard on boy.
But yeah, that hard on boy as well. And he, in a way to endear himself to the group even more, he pulls a knife on them.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Because at the start he just comes over, he's like punching him, going, I got a boner this morning. And now he's here pulling off a knife.
Well, I've now realised subsequently, because of what happened, that that's just to establish that he has a knife.
Yeah, but still.
There could have been a fucking better way to... He could have just been hanging around in the house with them, but guys, look at this cool knife. That would have made more sense.
Guys, don't worry, I can
threatening
cut
Johnny
up that large apple for you because I have my knife with me, you know?
Exactly.
As opposed to having this guy who beats off all the time, run around wanking all over his knife, you know, wanking off his knife in the garden because that's what he's doing. And then it just turns around and he's like, oh, by the way, he's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Now, guys...
Well, she doesn't seem fully happy about it at first.
Well, he's like, he comes around her and he like puts his arms over her, like he's taking her away against her will.
She's playing along with it, I think.
I
fucking hope.
And he's kind of like, I'm taking her up to her grandmother's bedroom, and she's like, oh guys, please don't go. And he takes her away, and then they go, come on, let's go. Worst friends! How are you going to stop your friends being killed by a man in their dreams if you can't stop your friends being taken away by their creepy, knife-wielding boner friends?
Yeah.
Not cool, dudes.
No.
So, he just decides he's sleeping with Tina. Yeah. Everyone's cool with it.
Yeah. I think Tina's ultimately cool with it.
Oh, yeah, but it's just that, I don't know. Maybe it's because with my girlfriend, I've never joked taking her away.
I do that all the time.
What do you do? It's the best thing to do, you know? What's the point of having a girlfriend unless you can do that?
Exactly, that's romance, mate.
The music at this point, with its dun 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 dun, I just felt like someone was slowly changing the tune of a cathedral bell.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun. Oh, the Protestant bell is a lower octave. That's interesting. It was like a shareware mystery game on the PC with its really I know it's iconic, but I don't know. The music of this
I have mixed feelings about the music.
Well, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, because you like synth. I love synth as well.
Yeah, at some points, the synth it feels like whoever composed the music has got like a synth for Christmas just before they had to do the music for this, and they're just playing with all the buttons and seeing what
they know
happens.
all the features.
Because it's weird springy noises and laser sounds and stuff.
Yeah, like Freddy appears like or then another time he appears and then like the pre-rendered MIDI version of Green Sleeves like with all the different layers and put on. But yeah, I don't think the best time for him to try out all of his new buttons was on this feature.
I don't know if someone told him that you can change it from sci-fi mode to horror mode. He's just got it stuck on sci-fi and he's doing the best he can.
They're not the same thing, really.
No.
I mean, the theremin has no real place inside. Although, that being said, when there were chases and stuff like that, and certain times where it was like... I thought it had a real like John Carpenter-y, I don't know.
Yeah, but also when there's chases, it gets a bit too up tempo. Like it's like a chord away from being like the thing that they play when laser cars are going down the future street.
No, it doesn't feel like you've been chased by Freddy in a Nightmare on Elm Street video game. That's not got a particularly good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's weird.
So we joined the two teenagers in the throes of sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
And like a true blue stud, they have sex, make loads of noise, and then he turns over to her afterwards and goes, "No more arguments, okay?" Yeah. Well, he's got you there now. Like, he's pretty much got you in a verbally binding contract there.
Yeah, that's the best time to talk about anything like that. Just
save
immediately after sex.
People say, oh, you have your fight and then you have makeup sex. No. You fight loads, then you have sex, and then you say you're not allowed to fight anymore, and then they are not allowed to say anything else.
Yeah, done.
There you go. Easy peasy.
Sorted.
Freddy appears through the ceiling.
Yeah. Nancy's in bed.
Yeah.
And Jesus falls off the wall.
Uh-oh.
And then she kind of cuddles Jesus a bit. And then Freddy kind of comes through the thing. He
like it's
melts.
it's plasticky.
Yeah. It looks quite fun.
It does.
Like if I was on Freddy's side and he could go through a wall a bit, but not fully go through it.
I'm just saying, if I could do that, like in your bedroom and you're like waking up one morning and go, oh, I'm going to get myself a glass of Pepsi Max. That would be a proper... that's a good prank.
That's a YouTube prank right there.
I'm just saying, you know?
Yeah. As long as you say, it's a prank, bro!
I just have these images of you punching your wall there after this. But yeah, he does appear.
I'd love it if Freddy started just saying, no, there's a camera over there, it's a prank.
He's like, spaghetti or something. It's just Punk'd has gone, Ashton Kutcher got a new jumper, and this season of Punk'd is very violent. So yeah, he appears through the wall because Jesus is your guard against plasticky walls.
Yeah, once Jesus goes back on, the wall's all solid again. So, good work, our Lord and Saviour Jesus
Yeah, seriously. Not only dying for our sins, but dying for the structural integrity of load-bearing walls in our houses. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you get a shot of Freddy's face at last.
Yeah.
To which Sam went, yuck! His face!
Well, yeah.
And then you turned to me because I just got my dinner and went, enjoy your pizza, mate. It's a bit aggressive, you know what I'm saying?
This is now because Freddy's after Tina now, isn't he?
Yeah.
She's fallen asleep post-coitus.
Yeah.
And now Freddy's after her.
Very much so.
You get a proper look at him, don't you? You get his
full on
face.
Full face,
You
Freddy.
get him with big, long, freak arms that go all the way out.
When you laughed your head off because he chased her and he looked like a puppet. Like
The way he fucking runs.
Because that came right out. You see his
God.
face, and it's like, wow! And then he goes,
well, he's got these he's got these arms stretching out to the thing, and that's kind of a bit weird and creepy. But then when he runs after, he goes,
it's just the fact that his legs kind of kick when he's moving in the air, you know?
I wish I could do actions on the podcast, because it just...
It's a marionette slowly skulking away, sped up.
Fucking stupid the way you run.
And then, so we had, scary, then, whoa! That's silly, and then lots of laughter. And then another big scary bit as his face fell off.
Yeah, well, he does like a little magic trick where he cuts his fingers off first, and that's kind of cool.
We've all
I was like,
done that.
that's just silly, that.
You know when your uncle takes out a knife and slices off his fingers.
And he says, look at this.
And he's putting it back on, and the blood's in your eyes going, oh, come off it, uncle.
But the bit where she kind of grabs his face, and just the skin comes off.
He's like, bleh.
I don't like that. That's very nightmarish.
Very.
On Elm Street.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Wait, Sam's just going to bed. He thinks he's okay. He looks out and he sees the sign, living on Elm Street. That's actually oh no! Nightmares.
But no, the skin coming off the face. That
fucking
as an
gross.
image is just horrible. The skin just falling off.
I like as well.
Like on a roast chicken.
You know what? I actually have to say this now. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
I've listened to a lot of film podcasts recently, and I think that if we really want this thing to be successful, we want to take it seriously, Sam, we need to get an edge. So here's something. Here's a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah.
If they did that these days, it would be all CGI.
You're right, Mark.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm not.
No.
Don't even bother tweeting in if you disagree, because you're wrong.
It'd all be CGI.
It'd be all CGI. It would all be CGI.
Back then, they had to really peel his face off.
And you know what, Robert England,
Yeah.
to his credit...
Methods.
He says, you know what, I paid my dues, I'm in the Screen Actors Guild, take it off.
He soaked his skin in the bath for fucking ages.
And he just slid it off.
So they would just come off in one fell swoop.
And you know what? Wes went up to him and he said, now, Robert, you're missing 2 fingers. Are you sure you want to do this? And he said, I'm Fred Krueger.
I'm positive. I'm in the role.
I'm absolutely... Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm Freddy Krueger. Abu Ghraib. And if you fall asleep, I'll kill you, Wes. Now get off the set. And let me take my face off. Oh, these days it'd be all CGI. It'd be all CGI.
Yeah. They filmed the rest of the movie first and then went back for the face bit. So that so if you see Robert England now, the state of him.
You see him at a convention now and you kind of go, was it worth it, mate? Like,
people giving him like a tenner for an autograph.
I mean, in retrospect, you probably should have saved it for maybe Nightmare on Elm Street 4, 5, you know, but, you know, it's each their own.
But nowadays, that would all be CGI, of course.
Exactly, of course. Now, and here as well, what does happen is you get the other, it's a dream.
Yeah.
That she's in bed.
In a horrible way.
But in a horrible way, because even though she's in bed and not in dream, she is still being cut. And you see her basically get savaged and dragged up on the ceiling and all cut up.
That was creepy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That was scary, and I think especially if I'd have watched it when it came out or as a child, because there's elements of this that we've had with other films in the past where the effects
have aged, maybe, or
that one not so much.
No, that was proper
That's
scary.
Still going up to the ceiling and being dragged around and blood everywhere,
and the cuts appearing out of nowhere. Yeah, that was damn scary.
Up. The only thing that took me out of it was Hard On Boy's reaction when some blood comes on. He goes, "Ugh."
Oh, it flecked on his face.
He's like,
you know what he was like? He was like someone who had was 3 or 4 hours past the point of this party being fun.
Yeah.
And then someone threw up and a bit of it got on him. Ugh.
Yeah. He does a bit like Tina. Ugh.
Well, in fairness, mate, you know, he's already had his tonight, so what does he really care?
And then the woman starts acting out.
Guys,
going on the ceiling.
Guys, don't you hate afterwards where the women are all like, ooh, I want to cuddle. Ooh, I want to go up on the ceiling. Ooh, this man's killing me in my dreams. Get off. And keep that blood and entrails away from me, alright? I want to have a kip, yeah? And a Yorkie. But yeah, very, very sad scene. Blood everywhere. And of course, the police don't believe Erection Boy's story that another man was there that he couldn't see, because I don't know.
Well, he clears off, doesn't he? He runs away.
And then they're like, well, he did it.
Yeah.
And the bit of evidence they have to go on is that they reckon that she was killed with a knife. So,
because there were cuts.
So
it must be some sort of blade.
Top brasser on it there, like all night in the lab coming up with
Done
that one.
and dusted.
Well, we believe that the knife was used to cut using some sort of... They're using the sharpness of the knife against her, really, in that sense.
They definitely used the sharp end of the knife.
You know...
A blunt knife wouldn't have...
You use the sharp end of the knife, we'll give you the thick end of the wedge, because we're the police and we catch you knifers all the time. So they catch the boy rather quickly.
Yeah.
You find out that Nancy, who's like, now that Tina's dead, Nancy's the main character. They kind of did a bait and switch.
Yeah, that was a nice little surprise there. I honestly didn't know that was coming.
Because usually in a movie like this, it'll be like, girl at the start of the movie, screams a lot, gets killed, and then it's the guy who either knows her, liked her, or was her boyfriend, then goes on to confront it. But it's actually another... I like that, which was cool. But yeah, so Nancy, her main problem, despite in addition to being quite a wooden actress as well, is that her dad is like the chief of police.
I think so.
And what a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
He's so not on board with this whole, invisible man theory that they have. He won't even give it a chance.
Yeah.
And he arrests the Erection Boy very shortly thereafter, who they find a knife on, as they put down here, so therefore he's going to go rot in jail or hell, one or the other, you know?
Does this happen when she's on the way to school?
Yeah, she's on the way to school. And she's
actually, sorry, yeah, when she's on the way to school, she sees a creepy man.
Yeah, it's really, she looks over and there was like a real, like just a bespoke creep, shall we say, was standing by the bus stop.
She turns around and then turns back and he's gone. That wasn't Freddy, was it? That just looked like some other creep.
It looked just like some other creep.
And it's never referred to again.
I think it was meant to show that she was paranoid about what was going on.
Okay.
Either that or in Elm Street, the buses...
Sequel character.
I was going to say the buses are so efficient that you turn around and already... Like, I mean, if I saw that in Lincolnshire, I'd freak out as well. I wouldn't think something's out to get me. I'd be like, something's out, the council is going on right now, and it's the road to Christmas, and I'm worried now that something's going on, you know?
So, one of my favourite lines is when Nancy's at the police station with her dad and her mum. Are they separated? I can't really figure out.
I couldn't tell if either that A, they were separated, or B, that he was just working all the time, because they mentioned, like, are you coming home? And he's like, no, there's a murder on the loose.
Bad blood between them.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the whole murder thing and her theory, and she says, like, they were arguing, and she says, oh, it wasn't serious. And her mum says, well, maybe you don't think murder is serious.
That'll teach you.
Yeah. Grow up. Yeah, murder's a big deal.
Some of you kids just don't take murder seriously. Would you like it if I murdered you? Huh? Well, maybe we should find out.
And freeze. What's gone wrong here?
All right, young lady, you're murdered. Upstairs. I'm murdering you right this second. Right, straight up to bed. Yep. No dinner, no murder.
Let's see if it's a laugh now. Now that you're dead.
And blood everywhere, you know. This is the most disturbing episode of Cinema Swirl by far, I've just realised. We're living up to the Spooky Swirl moniker this time. I like that. So, Nancy goes to school eventually, and her mother keeps telling her to sleep, even though Nancy is cocked at this point that if she does sleep... She ain't sleeping. So she's decides, though, she has to have a little bit of a daydream and a nod, because she's in English class, and they're talking about Bill Shakespeare.
Some fucking boring lad is reading it out. And
some boring lad is reading out some twonking boring...
That would put me to sleep, am I right?
Am I right? Yeah. That'll put me to sleep and get me killed in my sleep as well, am I right? So she has a little bit of a nod, and what can only be described as a daymare, as she sees Tina's body being slowly dragged away.
Oh, when the body bag was creepy.
Yeah, the body bag is slowly with a trail of blood. Ew.
I feel like I need to point out the bits where it was genuinely creepy.
Oh yeah, no, it had its real scary, creepy, unsettling moments.
Yeah, her in the body bag Going, hello.
Yeah. She was, I will say, Tina's acting was much better once she was a reanimated corpse that was creeping you out, as opposed to gaining kind of emotion for.
Yeah.
Nancy finds herself back in Freddy's lair, and Freddy appears in front of her, and he just has she goes, "Who are you?" And his reaction is rather strange.
He just cuts open his torso, which is what I'm going to start doing when people ask who I am.
It's
What are you doing in my garden?
I mean, it's like
Nickelodeon slime comes out of him.
It's like the idea of like Freddy Krueger going for like psychoanalysis or something, and who are you? And it's just cuts him.
No, Fred, that's not.
No, we agreed that's not how we were going to do things. He is weird in the sense that he has got a combination of the alien from Alien's innards, and the production values of Noel's house party inside him as well.
That is gunge and maggots.
Gunge and gross. And laser music as well at this point as well.
One thing that before she goes into the lair is the hall pass.
Oh, the hall pass thing.
The hall monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if do people cosplay as hall monitor Freddy?
That'd be a fucking easy one.
Yeah.
You
just put on like a jumper with the hall pass thing.
And then tell people, hey, you need a hall pass.
Screw your pass!
People would be mean to you if you were a hall monitor. So Nancy, to get her out of this incredibly distressing techno laser music nightmare, burns herself on one of the pipes, causing herself to wake up.
Yeah.
Where then she kind of really figures out.
I don't know if that was deliberate, but
I'm not sure. Was it? Because she looked over and then she
could be a cool kind of. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah. See ya.
Yay.
But she wakes up and it's kind of definitive that if you get scolded there, you'll get scolded IRL.
In real, yeah.
And this was one of those movies then where I was looking at that bird going, you need to have aloe. And again, that would be, I would have free-framed right there and turned around and said, now what went wrong there? Yeah. She didn't have any aloe.
No aloe, Mr.
No,
Man.
exactly, no aloe, you fools. In prison, Mr. Erection reveals that he has also been having Freddy Krueger dreams. Now, I think this is meant to be showing the importance of sharing one's dreams with one's friends. Now, have you ever been one for sharing dreams?
No, because it's usually fucking boring or weird.
Or explicit.
Yeah. Like, if someone telling you about their dreams, or you telling someone else, it's never a good conversation. Whatever happens.
I remember, going through, I think everyone goes through a little period where you become a little bit obsessed with dreams and, the idea of sleep. Them. And you hear people who talk about lucid dreaming where you can control what happen and trying to sleep in a certain way.
That sounds great.
It does.
I really wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I still kind of think that would be cool.
For me, at least, the one way to guarantee that you won't dream is to spend a lot of time planning on dreaming and doing a lot of heavy research and reading before bed.
Yeah.
But I do remember on one or two occasions when I was younger having very, very memorable lucid dreams and then waking up and writing down exactly what happened.
Right.
But that didn't end up well because in my circle of friends at the time, I was only a wee lad. Yeah. Only a teenager. I remember telling a group of friends this ridiculous dream. And it was ridiculous because all these loads of people I knew were in it and loads of weird shit happened. And, it just meant what happened as a result was that my friends became jealous and started coming up with more elaborate dreams.
Right.
They were lying. They all admitted years later to me that they made up dreams because they felt somehow they would admit that they were pressured, but obviously something caused them to go, I have to have a better dream than Kevin.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a good idea to share your dreams.
Because I don't want his subconscious to be cooler than mine.
I mean, I'll be honest, folks, if you're sitting there and you're someone who's lied about the quality and the interactivity of your dreams.
Lie about something better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are the same people who also lied about owning The Sims once as well, though, I should point out. So, lying was par for the course.
Although, in fairness, I think lying about your dreams is very easy.
Yeah.
Because no one could be like, no, I've seen your dreams, mate. And didn't do that.
You'd be surprised though how, because if you call someone out and saying your dream is bullshit, but no, I was a carrot.
That's when you need your poker face because they've got no evidence. They can't.
But that's
undo
it. That's
your dreams.
when people are so, because it's such a personal thing. I think that people get really defensive if you say, "Oh, your dream's fucking bullshit, mate."
One thing I do like is other people telling me that I've been in their dreams, not in a dirty way, but I love hearing that.
I like the idea of you being in a dirty dream in a non-dirty way. Like, kind of, two people are going out and you come in, just check and see the radiator's on. That's all right. See you.
Just getting some Pepsi out of the fridge.
Sorry, you left your mug in here earlier. I'm just...
Yeah, send those into cinemaswirl@gmail.com if I've turned up. But to like someone who I kind of only knew a bit, just told me in conversation that I'd been a bus driver in his dream. I was like, that's incredible. Like that means that somewhere deep down, I'm in there
in a bus,
in a bus driving capacity.
I'll be honest, Sam. You'd be rubbish as a bus driver.
It'd be terrible.
You'd be so bad.
Yeah.
I can just imagine you trying to tell people you've not got the correct change at a bus.
I just let them on.
You'd lose loads of money.
Yeah.
It's all right, mate. It's fine. You wouldn't have the heart to throw someone off a bus, I don't think.
God, no.
Nah, that'd be difficult.
Yeah.
So back to Nancy, who decided she's going to calm down from all this by having a nice, relaxing barf.
Yeah.
And Freddy's hand
just throws up.
Freddy's hand appears from underneath the water as she's like chilling out in the bath.
She's got like a bath pillow.
It looks like an airplane pillow that's the shape of a clamshell.
Lots of these characters, like, they know they don't want to sleep, but they still surround themselves in sleepy situations. Like, she's got a pillow.
Because they're probably saying to themselves, surely not napping as well, Freddy. Like, they're testing all.
Like, he'd be like, no, fair enough, that's not a proper sleep, so I'm not going to...
Freddy's there like, I'm dozing. Come on.
Fair play.
Sorry, it's Sunday. You probably had a big dinner.
Yeah.
That's not proper sleep.
Yeah.
You'll be up for songs of praise. It's okay.
His horrible little hand comes out of the bath.
Blah!
And he's getting his jumper all wet, which is the bit that I didn't like. That was the most disturbing bit. I was thinking, that's going to take a fucking age to dry that.
And also, as well, he was going to tarnish the leather as well by getting it soapy and wet like that. Yeah. He was going to be smelly and damp in the next scene. The knock on the door comes from Mum, like, are you okay?
And then the hand just goes back to shit.
And then she gets pulled deep underwater by Freddy's hands.
Yeah, that's quite scary.
That was really
beneath the
scary.
bath, there's just infinite water. That's a horrible thing.
I think most human beings are innately terrified of drowning.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be.
Yeah, it is the worst way to die.
I think there's like a couple of worse ways. But
what would be worse?
Burning is to me the worst. Or being buried alive seems like that would really suck.
Because the thing about burning is that it would just be kind of...
But those are like the top three. I don't want that
I think the reason why everyone hates drowning is the fact that it comes down to something that you do it... Because you're burning, you're just setting fire, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you're underwater and you're drowning, you're trying to not breathe, and there comes a point and your body goes, fuck it, you're going to die. And it feels like a real betrayal, of the lower part of the brain. Does automatic stuff you can't control, like breathing in. And that's the fact that you make yourself choked to death.
So is that what? So it's like you versus
the thing that is saying
instinctual thing.
The instinctual thing, which is you need oxygen. You're about to die. Yeah. So
quick, breathe in. But there's water everywhere, so you can't.
Horrible,
do that.
Absolutely horrible, and probably cold as well.
Yeah,
to
top it all off. Chilly.
I'm just saying, if I was draining in some lukewarm water, maybe it might be all right.
Oh, bath water.
That's true.
Well,
she pulled underneath there. It didn't look very bath-like. It looked very glacial, the water. Very, very scary.
But yeah, scary.
So she starts screaming her head off, and then her mum comes and she's like kicking down the door. And then she just plays it totally chills it. Oh no, I slipped when I was coming out of the bath. That's why I started screaming, oh no!
Nancy does a lot of, I'm fine, I'm alright, it's okay.
Doesn't get on with Mum. Her mum is like, it's bad because in a movie like this where I was kind of like, oh, she's a real bad actress. And then it's revealed that she's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So she's meant to be a bit zoned out. Better actress?
Question mark?
Unsure, unclear. But it just seems that Mum and Dad aren't really on Nancy's side when it comes to the whole Freddy Krueger business. So she has her special weapon against sleep, stay awake pills.
Yeah, which I thought was quite daft that she has this bottle of pills and it says stay awake on them, because I don't think any stay awake pills are literally going to be called stay awake pills. But that saves another fucking scene where they go, oh, I've heard about these pills called blah, 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 and they help you stay awake. Oh, do they? Yeah, I might take some. Like, it does that in one scene of having a silly name on some pills. So I guess it makes sense.
It does work. And I guess if you didn't have this, I mean, as someone who's tried to stay up with coughing,
Yeah.
It don't work. You would need something like a stay awake
Well,
pill.
she's mixing coffee and stay awake pills, isn't she?
I'm just saying, throughout this movie, when you bear in mind that Nancy's drinking all this coffee, she's incredibly nervous as well, probably not eating too well, and taking all these pills.
Weird shits.
I was just thinking, that must have been a nightmare. And you can imagine as well...
On Elm Street.
On Elm Street as well. It's a right nightmare. In there on the toilet, sleepy. You know that Freddy would do something with your shit. Like make a mould of himself out of
that kind of bloke, isn't he?
Out of that horrible, juicy black shit that comes when you're all anxious and full of caffeine and nothing else. He'd have a go at you, you've not been eating any real fruit or vegetables. It's dripping funny smelling water everywhere, So yeah, horrible thought there, really. She falls asleep again, Nancy, but she's made Johnny Depp stand guard.
Yeah, she's recruited him as like a sleep guard.
That's one thing which you shouldn't. If you're a sleepy kid, don't use another sleepy kid to make sure you don't. Yeah, it didn't work.
But you can't trust them grown-ups, can you?
I don't trust Johnny Depp. He's clearly a grown-up in a child's body in this movie. So, Tina gets seen again, the lady in a body bag, except this time when she talks, a giant centipede comes out of her mouth.
Creepy.
Scolopendra giganta, that's what I thought
the
it
weird
was.
look at what?
Oh, it's the name of the centipede.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a giant centipede, so I thought it had to be one of those big buggers.
Zoology guy.
There you go. And then she had loads of shit writhing around by her feet.
Yeah, look like shitty snakes.
I think they were like Sicilians or something. I'm not sure. They look like giant worms.
Okay.
So she calls out Freddy Krueger and she gets chased big time. Runs back.
Chase music again.
Alarm bells ringing. It's that alarming, this chase.
I think it's the drums that make me feel a bit weird about it because they've got like a quite good up tempo drum beat. Yeah. She tries to run away from Freddy inside her own house. Yeah. And the problem there is, though, that Freddy, thinking 2 steps ahead, he only went and bloody turned the stairs into s'mores. Yeah.
That was both
cool.
Terrifying and delicious.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to climb up and it's all like goopy.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to lick her.
Save that goop for later.
I'm just, this is 2 movies now which have flaunted delicious goop in our face.
I interrupted you saying I just wanted to lick her shoes.
I did. I wanted to. Now, out of context, that clip will get you in all sorts of trouble, Isolate that segment and...
Hi, I'm Kevin Mann. Welcome to Cinema Swirl. I just wanted to lick her shoes.
So the alarm clock is all that actually ends up saving her because he's fell asleep.
Johnny's fallen asleep.
Being useless. I'll be honest, Johnny Depp as the hunk boyfriend is a fucking chocolate teapot in this movie.
Yeah.
He is so fucking useless.
This wasn't the one where the plan was to whack him, was it? This was just the
one
where
was
just stay there.
She just wanted to stay there, suss it out, and then wake me up. And he didn't even do that.
Yeah.
And when she wakes up, she just goes, Glenn, you bastard! Good on you.
Yeah.
Put him in his place.
He was a bastard.
He was an absolute prick. So they decided to go to the police station because in the dream they saw that old erection was in a bit of jeopardy. They show up in the station and are met by the world's worst policeman.
It's like, I took the night shift for some peace and quiet. At a police station? When crime happens at night? You idiot.
Now, I would have thought, forget me if I'm wrong, but police stations, would they not be busier at night time than during the day?
This is what I was saying.
Because at night time, people don't have to be at their jobs, so they can commit crimes in their free time.
Yeah.
So during the day, though...
Night time, crime time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crime time.
Prime crime, Crime time. So... the dad as well starts giving him loads of jip as well, not on board.
They really take the piss with this whole thing. When she's just saying, can we just look at him? Can we just see if he's alright?
No, you can't because he's asleep. But shut up, kids,
The time they're wasting there, Freddy's wrapping blankets around his neck.
He wraps a blanket around his neck and then hangs it up. He basically, he sets it up so it looks like he's hung himself. And then they show up and they see him dead there. And I was thinking to myself, well, I've heard of a character being well hung, but this took the biscuit. It was fucking grim, though.
It was grim.
It was a horrible way for him to go.
Also, that happens with asphyxiation, doesn't it? You get a big boner. So, fitting end for that character.
I mean, He didn't even. I mean, they could have just done that if they put a lemon in his mouth or something like that. Because apparently the lemon's meant to wake you up out of the state.
That's what that's for.
That's what it's for.
Oh, okay.
So it is.
Cool.
So I used to know someone whose favorite band was In Excess, whose lead singer famously died through autoerotic asphyxiation, and it made it very difficult for me to eat lemons around that person. Without kind of thinking, it's
gonna bring back to eat lemons.
Had to cut back on my lemon consumption. She turns to her cop dad and starts describing who it is that she's been seeing, and they've all been seeing in their dreams. And as she describes it, saying he's got burnt skin, he's got a hat, he's got a jumper, and there's a big zoom in on the cop. And then she goes, and this really pissed me off, he goes, and also as well, he has these long nails. How many times do you have to see them?
She knows they're
knives.
Yeah.
They are obviously knives. Get away from me with your... Maybe that's why she's so brazen. Because she just thinks that he's got long, gross nails.
Clip your nails, you creep.
Ew! Because, long nails are quite gross.
Yeah.
And it's something that has been recently pointed out to me as someone who thought that long nails were some sort of sign of sophistication and elegance. Apparently, a lot of people.
Thought
that? Yeah, that's what I thought. It was kind of like long nails. I assume that meant that they were well kept and all that.
Right.
Because you have to file them and all that. Yeah. But no, usually they're very, very dirty. So obviously, long nails, lots of crap gets underneath there. Very gross crap. So maybe that's why she's so brazen with Freddy. She just thinks she's going to get an ear infection or something with his weird, gross fingers supposed to cut.
She'll go to bed with like a pair of nail clippers. Just hope they goes through.
And a little tube of antiseptic cream,
You
don't scare me, Freddy. So the dad clearly knows more about Freddy than he's letting on.
Yeah.
And Mum decides...
As that Zoom will tell you.
Zoom tells you. That's how you know. Mum decides the best way to save her poor mad child is to take her to the Sleep Institute.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to sleep, and she's terrified of dying in her sleep.
Sleep doctor.
So forcing her to sleep with a doctor present is obviously the way to go. I did hate her little anodes that she had on her. Because they were monitoring her brain activity.
Yeah.
And they had what appeared to be 3 clip-on microphones sellotaped to her face.
The chin one looked like
There was one on her chin. Like, what's that going to tell you?
Like an iPod headphone thing and some masking tape. That was the whole operation.
And I mean, with a name like the Sleep Institute, already I'm kind of a bit of a raised eyebrow, and I'm trying to think it's some weird guy like.
You never been to the doctor and they take your chin reading?
No, your chin.
That's really important.
Your chin reading is way out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to look at this chin report.
If you get low chin numbers,
it's not good. Happened to a character on Grey's Anatomy. They're very concerned about them. So Nancy goes to sleep and predictably freaks out, and you can tell she's freaking out because the little thing she ever hooked up to has an earthquake and starts making all the big noises and all that.
It's doing a doodle.
So she gets out of the dream when they wake her up, and she's got some interesting souvenirs. One, a scar from Freddy, which is like a big cut.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's fine because she got cut there. And then as well,
I can go along with the whole, if you get injuries or your clothes torn in the dream, then that's fine.
She had his hat.
Fuck off.
His hat as well.
Fuck that.
And then she wakes up with this
stupid
cut in his hat, which she clearly didn't have beforehand. And they're like, "Where did you get this hat, young lady? You probably found it on the street, didn't you?"
That's the point where it's like, no, it's not. It can't come back from that.
It's kind of jumped the shark in terms of silliness there.
You asked me to ask you something at this point because her mum and the sleep doctor were having a conversation, and her mum says, "What are dreams anyway?" And the doctor says, "They're just kind of a mystery. We don't really know." And I was like, is that true?
Well, I mean, there is still a deal of mystery surrounding them, but I don't think any sleep scientist would say that it's a complete mystery unknown. I mean, the absolute function of them is a little bit mysterious, but what they do believe that dreams are for is it catalogues the information from the day that you've taken in. So the information, the memories you've making from that day get kind of put in from your day-to-day storage into the long-term storage, basically. And that's why if you've had a very exciting day or whatever, you're very tired, you might find yourself having quite vibrant dreams, or stuff occurring in your dreams could have been because you've been thinking about someone or anything like that. So that's why sleep is quite important, so you have that kind of time to sort out your stuff for the day. But I mean, if sleep is an absolute total mystery, then why the fuck would there be an institute where they're studying it? There is a lot of it that's still like unknown and whatnot, and why some people have certain dreams, other people don't.
But it's not complete.
No. And anyone who tells you that they know the ins and outs of complete lucid dreaming and all that, I still don't. I don't buy it.
You just have to be perfectly still for ages, and then it'll just happen.
You just have to read this really long article I found on Wikipedia, and then you can do it. Amazing. Who'd have thought? Drunk mom crosses the line when, as they're home and they're arguing over the whereabouts of the free hat, which she said she threw out. She said, I put that thing in the bin.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Mom, she hits her child.
Yeah.
But honestly, she doesn't really she hits her with such a lack of enthusiasm that it almost didn't count.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. The actress they're viewing being drunk as being this kind of silly little thing that made you a bit docile and a bit silly and a bit Mom.
Yeah.
But they have her drinking bottles of vodka and hitting her kids. Probably not the most tasteful representation of alcoholism or the most light touch ever. It was a bit heavy-handed.
Laid on thick a bit. Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Mum finally starts listening to her daughter when she tells her.
Nancy pulls the hat out.
She
takes
takes
it
it
out
out
of the bin.
of the bin.
Just get it out of the bin.
I've put it in the bin,
Look,
right down.
It says Freddy Krueger on it. Freddy's mum has obviously taken the time to sew his name into the hat so he doesn't lose it.
Fred Krueger, it says on it as well. Not Freddy, it said Fred Krueger on his hat.
Fred Krueger, but someone in felt tip has put a wire on the end of it to try and...
Do not dry clean, Yeah. So, her mother very mysteriously says, come to the cellar and I'll explain everything.
Yeah, she talks really fucking ominously to her daughter when she comes in.
She comes in and she stands in the hallway
smoking.
Lights a cigarette, come into the room and
I have a secret.
A sexy secret.
And I shall explain it.
I mean,
in the cellar.
If you want to go to the cellar, you don't preface it with lighting a cigarette and having a glass and standing in the dark hallway going, oh.
Weird. But yeah, they go down there.
And they explain that Freddy Krueger was a well-renowned... in the field of child killing, one man stood out above all others, and that was Fred Krueger.
Yeah.
Fred Krueger, outstanding in the field of child murdering.
And we're here to honour him tonight. Congratulations, Fred.
When he goes into the Hall of Fame, he'll get his own wing, the child murdering wing. So she describes the fact that this child murderer, who was meant to be put away because some bureaucrat forgot to dot an I or tick a box.
Yeah, well, I kind of missed that bit.
They bungled up the search warrant. They bungled it.
Bungling things or fumbling things.
Fumbling.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so it got bungled. I see, bungle seems like kind of... just saying it, You want, a character whose second name is Bungle, is a fuck off. Deputy Bungle, where are all the donuts?
I bungled them.
When you say it's a bungling in this case, but a bungling is not really appropriate when it means that, sorry chief, I bungled
bungling on Elm Street.
I bungled it, now the child murderer has to go free. So due to this heavy-duty bungling that went on in the bungalow that they bungled, they decided to form a posse and burn him alive.
Yeah, all the Parent-Teacher Association got together during one of their coffee mornings. Like, let's burn that child killer. Let's burn him.
And then someone seconded it, and then they were on their
I
way.
agree, yeah.
Burned him alive.
Just the idea of all the parents clubbing together to murder someone is quite funny in a way. I mean, and not hilarious funny, but just a weird image.
And you know how it goes though with child murdering. If you've killed 20 children, they bungle a search warrant.
Yeah.
Because they've made that mistake, you're allowed to kill as many children as you want to then, and they can't do anything. And that's a real short-sightedness with the police.
Yeah, there's no follow-up on that, is there? What happened with the case of dead Freddy Krueger? No one cared. There was, he did murder those kids, but we bungled it. But so. And
then they kind of go, they're all at the end of it. They've killed him. They're like, oh shit. And then the policeman goes, oh, don't worry. And he bungles it in front of them. They all high five, good job.
No, Nancy's mum describes him as a filthy child murderer.
A filthy child murderer?
That opens up two possibilities. One is that he killed all those kids, right? He killed all of them. And he also stank while he was doing it. Or that he only killed the smelly kids.
The fact that he could possibly have went out of his way to try and rid the world of smelly children.
Yeah.
Some would argue he's doing the Lord's work there.
Exactly.
Who's the real nightmare on Elm Street? Huh?
Yeah.
Is it you, parents, who've got smelly children? Filthy. They are all the remaining surviving members. So you've got Nancy and Johnny.
Yeah.
They're remarkably perky, seeing as they've not slept now for apparently 7 days.
Yeah, Johnny's going on about dream skills and eating burgers and things.
Yeah, so he says that there's...
Hashtag dream skills.
Hashtag dream skills.
Yeah.
He's basically like one of those people going on about lucid dreams, being able to
Yeah.
control it and whatnot, and like, writing down what you hear in dreams.
Mumbo jumbo.
Absolute
Mumbo.
bullshit. Mumbo jumbo is all it is, But yeah, they nonchalantly mention they've not slept in 7 days. And Nancy's like, yeah, I hear the record's 11, so I guess I'm okay. Now, she looks exactly the same as she does when the start of the movie.
They haven't put any tired makeup on her or anything.
They've ruffled her hair a bit. Her fringe is fucked. Yeah, do you think there's even a few grey hairs thrown in
know
there?
there was a bit when she wakes up from that dream where she's got the hat that her hair's gone grey.
Yeah.
Freddie's obviously dyed it in a dream, and that's weird. But no, it's the scary grey hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he freaks out, hair goes grey.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing that happens,
Yeah.
as by magic. It does happen, though.
No, I know, but it's still, that's one of those things where I'm like, really? That happens? Your hair can just change colour?
It's kind of,
it seems too magical, doesn't it?
I knew a guy whose hair, he had like jet black hair, and a friend of mine, and one day I met him, and he had this like white streak all of a sudden. I was like, the fuck did that come from? He goes, oh, my hair is actually completely white. It went white when I was 12. And I was like, what happened to you? You got like some sort of like, he's like, oh no, I got a scare. And his hair went completely, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
That's a scare.
That's real, yeah.
A real scare. A scare so scary, it's a lifetime of hair dye.
We should be careful watching these movies.
I was saying that.
We're men with thick heads of hair.
I know.
Yeah.
We come out old grey men, like, because we got spooked too bad, like, So they come up with an ingenious plan to catch Freddy Krueger. She's going to go asleep, and then...
Go asleep.
Go asleep.
Yeah.
Then find him, grab him.
Hug him, basically.
Hug him.
Yeah.
And then wake up, and he'll be there.
Johnny will club him with a bat.
And she goes, yeah, you'll get him, Johnny. And he's like, how am I supposed to get him? And she goes, you're a jock, hit him with a baseball bat or something.
Yeah. No.
I like the idea of him hitting with a football or throwing a cheerleader pom-pom at him or something.
Tackling him.
Those big horn things that they have,
he goes along with that, though. If I was tasked with that, I'd be like, I can't murder a dream demon.
A dream man, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, I can do that.
And he'll do anything to impress a girl, won't he?
Exactly.
Also, it's revealed at this point that his parents are total dicks, particularly his dad, who appears just solely to show that you know that he is a dick.
Yeah.
So he feels bad when he, inevitably dies shortly thereafter. Gotta treat these kids with a firm hand. He just hangs up when she's asking for help.
Takes the phone off. Yeah.
Damn parents. She's on the phone trying to get through to Johnny, trying to get him to show up at midnight to do their plan. Parents have unhooked the phone. She unplugged, her phone rings and she picks it up and she hears the scraping of those horrible fingernails. Those awful fingernails making that awful noise. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, that's scary. So she plugs out the phone. And then it rings again. Mate, get BT on the line. There's an error in that handset.
Yeah.
And she picks it up and goes, I'm your boyfriend now. And it becomes a tongue phone.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's horrible.
The tongue phone freaked me out.
Yeah, it is freaky.
Now, if you got us a tongue phone right now and put it in front of us, we'd probably have a big laugh.
Yeah.
We'd probably play with the tongue.
Yeah.
I imagine I would do something like, do like a comedy style sketch where I would say, hello, I'm a phone, and use the mouth to talk, even though we know that phones can't talk. That's
comedy style.
That's where the humor comes from, though. But, just because it was flashed like that, ew.
I think if you paused it,
I would have had a laugh.
Yeah.
But
the
if we freeze frame there, why is that funny?
No, when she's staying awake for this, have they planned like a midnight meeting?
Yeah, the midnight launch, which they're going for.
She's taking it very seriously. So her mum's come in to take away all the coffee, but she's got a secret coffee underneath
percolating
the bed.
underneath.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas Johnny's just got a crop top and a telly.
And he's vegging out on the couch, watching a nudie contest. Miss Nude America. Would he be able to hear what she says if you're listening to your records? Why do we think I would hear what she says?
That was pretty much
bang
on the delivery of Johnny Depp in some of these lines.
So he's 15-year-old kid. What the hell makes me think you want to hear you talk?
I did it for you.
So, Johnny, surprise, surprise, watching a sexy thing with headphones on in a crop top, falls asleep on his bed. Who'd have thought? and he gets pulled into his bed and turned into a goulash.
That was creepy.
It was horrible.
I think, yeah.
That always reminds me of, like, in The Shining with the blood
Yeah.
coming out of the elevator. Just, like, as an image, a volcano of blood coming out of a bed is very unsettling.
Not nice, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
Now, Nancy, at this meantime, when all this blood is geysering out, she starts home aloning up her house.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that Freddy is basically like a no-good crook trying to get in there.
Hit him with a hammer and that's it. He's done. Yeah.
You know what Freddy Krueger hates? Ball bearings. Yeah? Banana peels. Get one of those electric buzzers and put it on his nose.
Yeah.
He'd hate that. That'll teach him a lesson. So, the cops, in a very, very quick amount of time, within 10 minutes actually, have arrived and set up the cleanup for the dead body.
Operation Bucket.
Well, they came out with a stretcher, and I'm like, mate, he's a liquid.
Yeah,
You'll ruin a stretcher.
The Bucket Boys came running in, being like, we've got this.
He's already got it down there, like,
put that away.
gathering it up, you know? Good job, guys, you know? I do like when they're coming out of the bedroom, the cops are like queued up outside and a detective comes out and he just gives them this like completely disgusted look. He came out of the room and went, ugh.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously you don't want to go in when someone's, you know, done all
If
that.
you come out and be like, I'd give it 5 minutes.
I'll give it 5 minutes, mate. There's been a couple of 100 gallons of blood in there. If you know what I mean. I should have had the mattress. I know. But anyway, come on. It's Friday. Whee. So, we're left now with Nancy on her own son.
Yeah.
And she's been locked inside the house because her mom is drunk and has hidden away the key.
I think at this point it'd be worth pointing out that Wes Craven puts some weird shit everywhere. Little, like, backgrounds, prop and set dressing details.
What's it called when, like the furniture in a room? Is that set dressing or set design or what is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those, yeah.
Unique choices, let's just say.
Mise en scène.
Yeah. Because I'm Wes Craven an explanation as to why there are so many weird things in Nancy's room.
In her room, it's full of creepy faces. There's a horrible mask next to her door.
Kind of a kabuki mask.
Yeah, I didn't like that. There's this horrible pig puppet thing. She's this pink...
In the middle of her bed, there's this weird little man.
Yeah.
Also, incredibly ominous photo of Sting and the police.
Yeah.
Which is great, because as soon as we saw that, and like Freddy was after her, it was like, quick! Call the police. Yeah. Never gets
Well, that's to suggest that every step she takes, someone's watching her. You know?
Freddy, huh?
Yeah.
But when they're down, like, I mean, she decides to go for the final showdown without him. She sets the alarm on her watch, which is a robot watch.
Countdown, 10 minutes remaining. Beep boop, beep boop.
You have set a timer function on your watch. This means that when the time is run out, an alarm will set. So yeah, she goes into Freddy's lair in Dreamland, and yeah, even in his lair, there's weird shit. There was like
goes past a dog playing poker.
Was it dogs playing poker?
The dogs looked all weird and fucked up.
The dogs, it wasn't a painting. It was like a
rug.
A rug.
Yeah.
Classy shit, like.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the kind of thing that
weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wes Craven, interesting set design.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
I think it added something, even if you're not really paying attention to it, you'll see these weird, creepy things and be a bit freaked out.
Unsettling stuff, definitely. So there's
actually, maybe not that subtle, because I noticed the dog thing.
I guess when there's not a lot going on in scenes other than a wooden teenager saying very plain lines.
You'll have to really dress that fucking set.
And you're in that fucking room a lot in this movie, to be honest.
To make it look as weird as possible.
Yeah. So she gets chased around a little bit, starts screaming, asking for Freddy Krueger to show up so she can grab him. She runs over and hugs him.
Yeah, this is like a jingly noise. There's some more synth pressing button. DJ.
I was just thinking of Mario Paint ones as well. But anyway, she wakes up, even though her foolproof plan, which was to grab Freddy and wake up and therefore make him tangible, he's not there. Didn't work. Nah. Lol, yes it does. There he is. So Freddy appears in her bedroom and starts going after her. And she runs out through the house and Freddy hits all of her traps and loses every fucking drop of mystique he has.
It's fucking Home Alone, isn't it? It's proper, like, the hammer coming down.
I will say...
Such a stupid booby trap. And it looks like... Considering they got Tina going up on the ceiling and the blood thing, they couldn't make a hammer coming down and hitting a bloke in the chest look right. Because that would just look... like... looked like the hammer was like made of. It didn't look like physics-wise. Like
Yeah,
the
it
hammer
didn't have an impact.
Was one of those squidgy hammers.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, Freddy here has less dignity than the crooks in Home Alone 2.
Oh, God.
He hits him with the hammer, he's like, "Urgh," and his tummy is sore. And then he falls off the stairs. It goes,
I laughed so much at him just falling over.
The noises, he's like, he sounds like Arnie when he's falling over.
Yeah.
And then she sets him on fire.
And then he especially sounds like Arnie when he's on fire.
What it sounded like, it's in, you know, the Itchy and Scratchy Land episodes of The Simpsons. The guy in the Itchy costume keeps coming over to Bart going, and then he gets kicked.
Like that.
Fraser, I just want to entertain. Like, you know, that's the noise that he makes here. He gets the dog fuck beaten out of him here.
Yeah.
And he gets locked in the basement and she's screaming for the
Got him.
Locked in the basement on fire, screaming for Dad to come across the road.
Yeah, right. She's screaming out the window because they're
Police
over
are
the other
no
side
help.
at Johnny's house where he's been made into
Soup.
whirlwind of blood. So she's screaming like, "Get my dad! Get my dad!" And the guy's like, "What?
No,
okay.
Night shifts I took so I wouldn't get bothered.
Everything's under control over here." She's like, she's a very specific "get my dad" command. Not like, "How's it all going? It's all fine."
He died. No. He turned into that liquid. No, he's not alive.
And after a long time, he's like, "Oh, I should probably go and get him."
Then they finally come in.
And takes a quiet stroll over
saunter
to
up.
get-
Yeah, what I love as well is that 4 cops surround the door. They all go for the handle and try and open. Kick it in, you fucking idiots. So they finally get in, and they're finally going to get Freddy. And then they see all these flaming footsteps going upstairs. So they run upstairs, and I honestly can't really explain what happens here because it's confusing to me.
So it looks like Freddy's getting...
Mum.
Yeah.
No, he is. He's on top of her, throttling her in the bed, and he's on fire. So she's like, ah!
And then police dad puts blanket over to put him out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess. Or give him some privacy. I mean, one or the other. But he
He's
popped that
well,
blanket
I knew this marriage was going nowhere.
Jesus,
so-
honey.
Not in front of the kids.
They have to be split up. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's no way.
So he puts the blanket over to put out the fire.
Yeah.
And lifts it up, and there's no Freddy.
Freddy's gone.
But the mum is this weird...
It's all burnt away. Her
skeleton.
hand is a skeleton. And she disappears into what can only be described as Zool.
Yeah.
And the whole... She goes into the fridge from Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
And just
but
kind of fades
the
away.
way her arm moves is really mechanical. It's not...
I guess it's because the physics of having a moving skeleton hand is on
Yeah,
a
a
budget.
bit difficult.
You know. Now those days
And
now,
then she disappears.
and she's gone.
Well, that would all be CGI.
It would be all
of course.
CGI. They
Yeah.
wouldn't even have a mum these days. They just CGI in the alcohol.
That's a dig up a real skeleton to do that.
You know, that wasn't... I
That's
mean,
naughty.
that family was not happy
No.
with those bones being
Once they saw the
desecrated.
film, they were happy. but-
Oh, yeah, big fans.
Until that point.
Big fans. Absolutely. So she disappears into Zool.
Yeah.
Then Freddy reappears. She basically tells him off.
So Nancy's like hitting the bed with like, "Oh, my mum," and then she says, "Now do you believe me?" to her dad. That's her first reaction after her mum has died.
See?
Like, told you, Daddy.
More of the story, don't be a dick.
Yeah, and then the dad and the cops just go out the room like, "Right, we're off. Close the door."
Case
And
closed.
Freddy's back.
He's went into another dimension, which is clearly not our jurisdiction. You need state police
We're
for
off.
that.
Yeah.
You know?
Freddy comes back, tries to get her, and then
She just tells him off.
kills him by slagging him off a bit.
She tells him off. She goes,
You're shit, mate.
"You're shit, mate.
You're not my mate.
Freddy wanker. Fred wanker. You're a bollocks.
You shit jumper, you prick."
You shit jumper. I can't believe I was ever scared of you, you stupid prick. And then he's like, "Oh no, my feelings." And he disappears into space.
Yeah, well, I think really, as much as that is funny, it's kind of about not believing in him or knowing that it's a dream and he's
That
not
becomes
real.
a huge thing in the
Right.
Freddy lore later on, which is he gets his power from the fact that people are scared of him.
Yeah.
And the more they're scared of him, the more power he has.
So
in the
really,
dreams.
you'd have to be like, "You are my mate. I think you're lovely."
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "No, I am horrible." No, you're nice. You're a nice lad.
Cut off those fingers for me. Yeah. You're the only one who's ever shown me what your face looks like without skin. You've never done that, supposed OTP. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
No one understands me.
We know we were talking about that Christmas surprise episode.
Yeah, well,
Merry Christmas!
So yeah, Freddy's gone
Yeah.
forever, allegedly.
And then
Wakes up the next morning, and it was so bright we had sore eyes.
fog everywhere.
And it's bright.
I thought that was like heaven or something.
It's basically implying
I thought they were all
dream
dead.
sequence.
Right, okay.
When the fog, the bright colours, the kids with the skipping rope and singing, that's all like
Dreamy.
dreamland, basically.
But the dreams in the film so far have been quite real looking, mostly. But this one was really dreamy looking.
You remember there was a bit really early on in the start of the movie when they were walking to school and the kids were skipping as well. It was very bright like that as well. So, taken away in a Freddy car, which honestly...
That's fucking funny, isn't it?
That was fucking...
That's silly.
It looked really silly.
Yeah.
Like a Freddy car.
There better be toys of that.
Oh, I'd love that. And then the movie ends.
It's just a normal car. Wait a minute, those are the jumper colours. We're locked in.
Now that's you always end on the biggest scare, and obviously Wes was torn between this and the next one, the final scare of the movie, which is Mum waving her hand saying bye, and
oh fuck!
A hand just comes out and pulls what is then obviously a dummy through the little hole in the window.
So stupid.
Yikes!
Oh my god.
I'm going to say it right now as someone who,
hilarious.
I lost sleep over this movie
when
I was a kid. I remember distinctively...
We just laughing the whole night and you can...
No, I lost it because I was so fucking scared.
Yeah.
Because it was made out like this was a scary fucking movie. Really, it wasn't something you watched on a whim. It was something I had to organise to watch.
Yeah.
I heard all this stuff, and it scared me a lot. I watched it when I was maybe 13 or 14, and it did really scare me.
Yeah.
I do remember, at the end of the movie, at this part here, not laughing or anything because I was just happy it was over. So I was like, fine.
This ordeal is done.
Yeah, because it was over. But Jesus Christ, with mine adult
fucking
eyes,
hilarious, isn't it?
this was a laugh riot. Now, don't get me wrong, I think there were a few moments that were legitimately scary.
Yeah, quite a few. But I think there were more laughs than scares for me.
Are you scared of Freddy Krueger?
I love him. No,
not scared
really.
of Freddy.
Even he just looks quite funny because he smiles a lot and he just says stuff and is a bit of a pillow.
And the big thing about Freddy, which you don't see a lot of here, admittedly, but as the movies go on, it becomes more about how's Freddy going to kill him now? Because it stops being about we have to stop Freddy to kind of Freddy's going to get him. Freddy's going to get him. Do it? And Freddy actually has an element of comedy to him, almost some would argue, and that was kind of a big part of why that character went on for so long.
This was not supposed to be funny.
No.
At any point.
No. This was meant to be serious.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some tongue-in-cheek bits here and there, but it was not trying to make you laugh when it was making us laugh.
No.
In that sense, I feel like it's been a bit of a letdown, this movie. Because we ain't scared.
No.
Yeah, we're not scared.
Yeah.
High five. Yeah, strong.
It's a rubbish.
Shut up. No, it was a really good one. And Thunder and Lightning.
I'll edit in the noise of a good
Edit in a noise of a good, it's like a whip. Like two whips whipping each other.
I'll just get a keyboard out and press a random button and see what noise comes.
DJ. So, a letdown then?
No, kind of. I wasn't scared
at all.
There were some bits that were freaky.
There were two or three proper freaky moments.
There were cool, freaky, disturbing images.
I think it's the scariest of the Elm Street movies.
Right.
Doesn't
get any better, does it?
I mean, with all these ones, there
was no one saying no, you need to see Terminator.
Yeah, no,
Terminator.
I'm
basically saying you need to see Terminator 2 kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one, that's the one. Yeah. You can get away with not seeing the others, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's better production values in some of them. Some of them are maybe a little bit scarier.
Yeah,
a little bit darker at some points.
Okay,
but in terms of an all-round package, or what would be regarded as the classic horror movie, this would be the one. So, it really is shocking in some ways for me, I guess.
I liked it. That's
but you liked it, though.
But for completely the wrong reasons.
Is that kind of... Would you say then you're a fan of it in that sense?
I don't know, because people who are fans of it, are they it's hard to know how much. I don't want to be a dick and be irony, but how much of that is part of it.
I mean, I know horror fans are an interesting bunch in that I know there's great joy that is taken in the kind of the silliness almost, and then a lot of horror fans will kind of like it for that.
Yeah.
But it's not. I don't know if they're kind of going, this is fucking stupid. And admittedly, at a few points of this, we were going, this is fucking stupid.
I had a fucking great time
I
watching
had a blast watching it in that sense as well,
We were laughing, and then there were points where we were just making each other laugh by pointing out how stupid
it was probably the most we ever talked during a Cinema Swirl movie. And we usually like try to go a little bit of omerta while we're doing Swirl. So, I mean, that was probably an indication of...
We were just tossing jokes around. Yeah,
it's a good movie, I think, to watch then with
absolutely
with a group of mates.
In fact, I'd enjoy some sort of Halloween party where we all get around and watch that,
or one of the shitter ones.
Yeah, because that would be a laugh. Yeah,
honestly, watching
eating candy, getting drunk, watching that,
taking each other's faces off.
Yeah,
a bit of a laugh. Yeah. Honestly, deconstructing kind of silly horror movies and like having a laugh at movies that are meant to be scary, but as an adult you realise are a bit kind of silly.
Fun.
It is a lot of fun, huge amounts of fun. Absolutely. I mean that was definitely a nice introduction to that whole thing for you. I didn't think Nightmare on Elm Street would be that movie though. I thought we'd have to wait for something a little bit more obviously naff. I thought this was a lot better than it was, I guess, in that sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
Freddy Krueger, iconic for you then? Are you a fan of the character?
I want the jumper.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, at the start we were saying, like, is there some other element that I didn't get?
And that was the comedy kind of stuff. Already,
okay, just how...
a little bit like...
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
I mean, he becomes a lot more vocal and,
Yeah, he didn't say a whole lot.
He didn't. He was a little bit like Terminator 1 in this, and that he said kind of 15 lines.
But in the other
ones
he starts cutting promos and shit.
Yeah, he does like have a little bit more character to him. Right. A little bit more backstory. So, would you be interested in seeing any more Nightmare on Elm Street movies?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think it'd be funny to watch.
But you're not... It's weird, because this is like... It's both a very successful and a very unsuccessful
I never
movie.
want to be scared, though.
That's
and
true.
I wasn't scared.
So you haven't given what you wanted to in that sense, then.
And I had fun watching a funny movie. I feel good.
It's literally you skip to the end of the Spooky Swirl. I had fun watching a funny movie.
Yeah. Like, they've done it again. They've done the wrong type of film.
You know what? Some November we'll do a Halloween special and it'll actually be scary.
Yeah.
If you were to give this bad boy a star wipe rating, then what would it be?
See, this is a tricky one.
I'm wondering if it's going to be a low or a high, then.
I've got to weigh in like the intention of the film and what I felt about it, because I had a great time.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's
the point of it.
The point. So I'm going to go for a 3.
Okay.
3 star wipes.
You've heard it here first.
Hello, it's me, Sam, talking to you from my computer's horrifying built-in microphone. Just wanted to say thank you for listening to this episode of Cinema Swirl. This episode was produced by Kevin, it was edited by me, Sam, and the music was also by me. You can vote for future episodes over at facebook.com/cinemaswirl, or you can follow us on Twitter, that's @cinemaswirl. As ever, if you have any questions, queries, comments, or otherwise, just send them on to cinemaswirl@gmail.com. and we might read them out. Hey, that'd be cool. Please do subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or whichever podcast thing you use. And we'll see you next time.